and I have Ogdensburg, New York. You can't see any stars there, and this is a 2-second shot of M17, the Swan Nebula. So earlier yeah, hang on a second here. All right, yeah, 2-second exposure. And the gain's all a bit too high, so let me lower the gain to where we thought we could have it. And here's what I'm going to do. We're going to increase this to 5-second exposure. Okay, there we go. Now you can tell in the surrounding area it's all red. This is light pollution, where infrared reflects back into the atmosphere from the city light of Ogdensburg, New York. So this is the worst of the worst for me. It's not too noisy actually, it's good. And it's quite low to the horizon for my location here, and it's right above my shop here. Just a few degrees clearing the roof only, so this is quite low, and being in the light pollution doesn't help. But anyways, this is a 5-second shot. It's not too bad. Hey, Graham, I still live by the St. Lawrence Seaway, and how many times I did say I was going to throw this thing in the river. It might come up in the video starboarding, you know. Oh, when it works great, but when it gives you a hard time, it's worse than Windows 10. Actually, they're equal. Windows 10 is crap, and so is this mount when they decide not to run properly. But tonight, Windows 10 is running great, the software is running great, everything's running great. Of course, something else got to go wrong, which is the mount. So anyways, I just don't like making you guys wait, because we should not waste time on a mount or anything like that when you observe. You should be able to set that up, go ready to go, and align, and you're done. And you're done for the night. If you're going to spend 6 and 8 hours observing under the night skies, we shouldn't have to go through this. That's my point. That means I'm losing precious time to observe. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to go to trigger mode, and we're going to pump this up a little bit to 10 seconds. With the same amount of gain, and see, I got the gain set at 70 at the moment, so let's see what 10 seconds is going to give us extra right in the light pollution. There's no filter on this thing. I don't believe in filters. I don't use filters. So the image is pretty bright. What I'm going to need to do is lower the gain, because the background's all red, and this is light pollution. This is infrared from the light pollution. I'm going to lower the gain here to 45 instead of 70. Nice field of view actually for that. It's good. That's right in the light pollution. That's not bad. Now this is 10. This is 10 seconds now, but I don't know. I think I like 5 seconds better. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Let's go back to 5 seconds, and let's increase the gain back to 70. There, make this thing work a bit. All right. There you go. Okay, here's 5 seconds. In the video mode, I'm going to increase the gain a wee bit more to 80. There you go. So it becomes a little bit brighter. Let's leave it at 5 seconds, and let's increase the gain to about 100. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. Okay, let's turn that up a little bit more. Let's go to 130 and see what it's going to give us. We may not gain that much anymore. Aha, there's something I want to try now that we're here. Yes. Just a sec. Let's bring down the gain to 13. Right? Here's the reason why. Alright, there we go. This is gain 13, and why I want to do this? I want to try the digital binning. Oh boy, this thing's going to kick now. Okay, hang on a sec. Let's go to fit the windows. Wow, this is 5 seconds and a gain of 13. Digital binning. Oh, I like that. Hey, talking about increasing sensitivity. So now let's turn up the gain to 30. There you go. Okay, 5 seconds and the gain's at 30 and we've got digital binning 2. So that equals 10 seconds with gain at 70. Isn't that something else? Let's go down to 2.5 seconds. Yeah. You want horsepower? Just engage the digital binning. Boy, it's gonna kick. I wish my mount could kick like this. Okay, so we're at 2.2 seconds. I'm going to increase the gain at 50. So basically our 10 seconds at 70 gain. Now we're back down to 2.2 seconds and the gain is at 50. And now if you don't believe me about the exposure, 2.257 milliseconds. So it's 2.2 seconds. You can see that. But here's the thing though, Graham, it's, you know, I read all over the place, oh, okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do it. No, you don't. Stick to the gain and the exposure, and these are your basic starting points. If you don't get good satisfaction that way, go to the digital binning. Jump there, and then you'll shorten your exposure even more. Should have done that on M57 earlier, but anyway, that's beside the point. Okay, now we're at 2 seconds. Let's go and, well, here's something you can do. If you want to play with histogram, alright, let's play with histogram and see if we can get rid of light pollution. Where's the histogram here? There we go. Let's go to sharp. Oh, wait a minute, let me increase sharpness here to 200%. Didn't get much. None of this target's pointless. Okay, let's go to the histogram. Here it is. Alright. Let's go, sir, and let's lower the 0. We're going to bring the 0 down to 19, and the 255, we'll leave it at 255, because it's quite bright. I'm right in the light pollution, so I got to be careful. Yeah, see, if you start screwing around with the histogram, you get noise. I don't like that. You would have to run stacking and things like this, so no. That's not my thing. Let's put it back at default and let's leave it the way it is, okay? I would rather go to color adjustment, it's called, and there's a thing called gamma, which is the center point between both points of the histogram. So bring that up, and you're going to get a nice dark background. This is how you adjust that. Watch. Is it already there? Yeah, it is. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's increase that. This is 2.2 seconds. Here's the gamma. The lower we lower that, the better it is. We could also play with the contrast. So let's change the contrast a tad. There we go. Make a nice dark background. That's okay. Or just hit default, and that's what it looks like, because I'm right in light pollution. Let me go to M16. I think it's not far from there. Give me a sec. I gotta get up and yes, Mark, it would. Definitely it would, yes. I totally agree. Because I'm right in the light pollution, though, right now, I'm pointing directly in Audit Spring, New York. I can't see stars there with naked eye. And we still pick that up, so I like to try M16. Give me a sec. I gotta swing the scope on if it will go there. And see what it'll do. Hang on a sec. Okay, hang on. We're going to go to M16, the Eagle Nebula. As I said, if if the mount decides to go there. I hope Mead is watching. Okay. Hang on a sec. We're going to go to M16. Oh, it's so close. How can I miss it? From M17. Okay, it didn't go to the right star at all. All right, I like that. It did not go to the right star whatsoever, and it's right next to M17. This sucks. Wow. Okay. I'm going to submit my application to go work for Mead here. They need improvement. They need help. Oh, here is a dance, Leslie. Okay, this sucks. I gotta go back on M17 to synchronize this. Okay, M27 I guess, and 2.2 seconds. The gain set to 51, and I also got the digital binning 2. So we don't have to touch anything really. Yeah, dumbbell mount. Yeah. Oh, it's one of those nights. Hey, what can you do and what can you say? Okie dokie, let's increase exposure. This is 2.2 seconds. We're going to crank this up to 5 seconds again and see what kind of result we're going to get. I'm going to have to lower the gain though, I'm pretty sure. Because we don't want to, oh yeah. So, let's lower the gain to about 20. Okay, it's too low. So 5 seconds, let's bring that up to 30. There we go. Well, that's not bad. Okay, we're getting there. Now here's what we could do. There it is. Now let's go to 100% like we did earlier. Okay. Alright, that's 5 seconds. I don't know if it's going to work on stacking with binning too, so this is what we're going to try, okay? In fact, we are going to lower the gamma a little bit to get a little bit darker background. There you go. Just doing a bit of gamma is going to give us what we need. And in this case, I will be able to increase the gain a bit more. So the balance between the gamma and the gain. So the gain's at 30, I'm going to pump that up to 40 about, yeah. Let's see what it's going to give us. It might be too much. Yeah, it's pretty close. Okay, let's go back to the gamma. I'm going to increase the gamma just a tad more. The gamma now is at 1.45. It's a bit darker. Okay, let's go to 1.55 gamma. That's pretty cool. We'll leave it like that. And now with the digital binning on, I'm dying to try out the average stacking. I'm going to get with 5 frame. It's pretty well what we're going to need. And we're going to leave it the way it is and do the star registration, and it's still 5 seconds. So when you engage that digital binning, boy, I tell you, you're not binning the chip itself, you're binning it at the 80 converter. That's what you're doing. And it's just incredibly increased the sensitivity. Okay, we got 2 frames stacked already. We're going to clean up the image. Oh, it's already cleaned up. Wow. Okay. We're detecting colored stars in there, which is pretty neat. And we got 3 frames stacked, so we got 2 more to go. Here's 4. Yeah, it's not too bad for a 5-second exposure. Pardon me. Okay, this is not bad at all. Oh, good. Jim, what I did tonight is this afternoon, Jack sent me a old version of KVY to rebroadcast the image on NSN because the latest version of KVY is it just sucks. It doesn't work. He needs to fix it. So I don't know if he's going to do it or not. But anyways, so the Jack sent me version 9. Just a few released before the latest one that he has, and it works superb. So because of that, my internet doesn't work as hard anymore, and all the issue was related with KVY. I also bought a new wireless system to reach the internet here, so I'm getting a good signal for that. So hopefully it has improved. Hopefully the voice matches the image or as close as possible for everybody. And thank you for letting me know, Jim, by the way. I appreciate that very much. Okay, so we're back here, and this is a 5-second exposure. We've got a fairly clean image. We could probably add more. Okay, let me stop the stacking here for a minute. I'm going to try 10 to stack average at 10 images. Hang on. Okay, so this is without stacking. You can tell in the green area of M57, you see some graininess in there. Once again, this is a progressive scan sensor. Whatever it's a CCD or a CMOS, progressive is always more grainy compared to interlaced. Interlaced is not grainy. There's a huge difference between both sensors. Okay, I just activated the average stacking. We're going to go for 10 frame stack. We're not going to gain anything here. The image is not going to get brighter or anything like that. What it's going to do is just going to randomly stack the noise or the graininess, if you wish. It's actually not a noise. Graininess is just the way it is with those sensors. Progressive scan sensors will do that. They got a graininess to it. Sometimes you only need 4 or 5 frames. That's it. Most of the time it's plenty, but if you want to have a really nice picture, then it's worth going a little bit more stacking if your tracking is good enough. Yeah, okay, we got 3 image stack right now. These are 5-second exposure, and we've got digital binning too, so that's going to increase the sensitivity quite a lot, and the gain is set at 40 at the moment, so still 5-second exposure. I love it. I wouldn't mind trying out the sharpness a little bit and see how much more we're going to gain out of it. We're going to get tighter stars, obviously, and probably see a little bit more wispy detail into M27. I really like what we're seeing in M27, something I've never noticed before. Using other cameras or even my 16-inch is in the M27 at about 10 o'clock we see a red streak going from 10 o'clock position or so, and it's going right towards the center star, and from the center star to 2 o'clock position you also see a red region in there. So it's just to show you that the color balance is perfect. I didn't do any white balance or anything like that. I did lower the green. This sensor is very sensitive in the green, so I did lower that to what my eyes pretty well tell me, I guess. And I think it's doing okay. So we've got 14 stack images right now. Yeah, this is nice. Very nice. Let me stop the stack, and I would like to increase the sharpness to 400%, and we're going to start the stack. Here's 400%. Look how ugly this is. Wow. That's okay. What's happening here with the sharpness, you are sharpening also the graininess. So that's why you see all them little dots all over the place. It's like dithering just about. But let's randomly stack. So basically that noise or that graininess happens at random. So when you stack a few frames, whatever it's 4 or 5, most of the time it's plenty. But if you're going to increase the sharpness the way I did, you're going to need 10 frames or so. Something to experiment with. Again, it goes with the F ratio, the image scale of your image, sky conditions, aperture. It's impossible to write a book about it. You just got to experiment with it. Once you've got the image going to a decent, I'm not looking for perfection here, a decent image live, then you can experiment with all these other things, you know, a histogram or whatever turns you on to play with until the image screws up real good. And when it does, you just hit everything back to default and start over again. And the two things you got to keep in mind, exposure and gain. This is so important. Holy Moses, is it already quarter to, yeah, it is quarter to 12. Wow, okay. It's one of the longest broadcasts I've done in years. Because we're having fun. We're having fun with the mount, that is. Here we go, high precision mode. Oh boy. I'm going to use the stacking. I think 10 frames should be okay. And let's go for the stacking average. Here we go. Let's see what we're going to get. This is awful looking right now. That's because I got a sharpness at 400% out of 500. So that's quite a lot. And let's see what type of view we're going to get. Oh, this is awful. Ouch. This is very, very terrible. Getting nippy here tonight. Well, at least the mosquitoes are all gone. I didn't have to use bug spray, which is good. Okay, let's watch this here. Pardon me. Okay, here we go. Come on. Stack her up. We got 7 frame. I think we may have to go a little bit more. Boy, we got 1 pixel out that way. That's okay. I should have taken the dark frame actually earlier, but I didn't bother. Camera's starting to get warmed up, so it's to be expected. And if we would have taken a dark field correction, it would have taken that off. And most of the night I've been in 5-second mode, so you only use the same one over and over. That's not too bad for M51 for 5-second shot. I should have taken a dark field subtraction. Yes. Here's the other thing I'd like to go check for the moment is my gamma. Is the gamma all the way up, or is it turned down? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's put this at default. I don't know if it's going to screw up the. Yeah, I just turned off the gamma back to 1, so the image going to get over bright, I guess, because of the light pollution. We still got nice lanes in there. Wow. Yeah, if I would have taken the dark field correction and do the stacking and the sharpness, this would be photographic quality live and then some. Yeah, David, you're in the Laurentian. You're going to get your camera next Monday or Tuesday probably. We managed to send it out. Ivan, the other tech at work, he packed it up. And I made the trip to go to the post office on the way home and drop that off there for you. I said, okay, if we send it today, you're going to get it on Monday or Tuesday. That's a cool camera. It's the DS10C. Wow. It's a workhorse. I'm having fun with this one. Now, I'm going to do some more tests later this week, I guess, or this weekend. I like to go deep sky. I'm talking about PGC object and NGCs and, magnitude 15, 16, and 17, and maybe magnitude 20. I don't know if we could get that with the 8-inch, but hey, we're going to give it a try later this weekend, and we're going to have fun with it, That'll be interesting to see. Okay, I'm going to try to adjust the gamma to darken the background, but I don't know if I could do it while I'm stacking. So we'll find out, and let's see what it does. Stacking is working flawlessly. There's no Pink Floyd. So Doug Murphy's trick of using the planet mode works beautiful. Oh, you're very welcome, David, by the way, in Laurentian. You live in a nice area. I'm right by the St. Lawrence Seaway here on the Canada-U.S. border, and I really like it out here. But the Laurentian is something else. It's, yes, very, very, very nice. I'm glad you called today at the shop, too, so it was nice to hear you on the phone there, David. Okay, so we get less noise, but we do have a lot of warm pixels. Not a big deal. If I could have taken a dark field correction, all of this would be gone. This is an amazing camera. This is fun. The effectiveness of the sensor is quite impressive. For back illuminated like this, it's very, very impressive. Well, it's already midnight, 12:01, folks. I think I'm going to stop this, and I would like to thank everyone that stopped by here tonight. It was a lot of fun, and everything worked very, very well, except for the mount. I hope Mead is watching. Oh, hang on. Okay, come on, Windows 10. You got to quit this. Come on. Here we go. I hope Mead is listening about their crazy mounts, but anyways, we'll leave it at that. I think I am going to set up the LX200 10-inch in here. The stress level will be so much lowered. And besides that, I'll be able to use my dew shield on it to reject more light pollution. Or I may go back on the 16-inch. I know some of you don't like when I use a 16-inch. I like using smaller aperture, like 8, 10-inch. It's cool. But anyways, we'll see. Okay, folks, thank you very much. And it was a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun. Did a good experiment that I wanted to try out. And software is very stable. I did do the settings of the computer to make it run like a gaming computer, and I posted the video of that on the group the other day, last week. So I would strongly advise all of you to do that if you're going to run the camera. That way all the resources are reserved for the camera, and you have a lot less frustration, and it works really, really good. There's a lot of things happening in this software, and you need resources for that. And setting up the computer for it could be a breeze, and it's going to be a blessing for the camera to run very, very stable. I've been broadcasting with it since 7 o'clock tonight. So we did 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that's 5 hours non-stop with 0 issues. No Pink Floyd effect, no nothing. I mean, everything is textbook perfect. So if anybody's got a hard time with this, check your computer and set it up. I am going to post again the video that Doug Murphy has found and the documentation Doug Murphy has written on how to fine-tune your computer. It's very easy to do, actually. If you watch the video a couple of times and read what Doug Murphy has written down, it works beautiful. He did fantastic work, and I like to thank Doug for that. So Brian, David, Jim, Steve, Mark, I'm missing a lot of people here. Thank you so much for stopping by, folks. A lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see some of you at the Video Star Party on August the 1st. It's coming fast. So we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to stop the broadcast. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good night, everyone.